Hi everyone, it's Kathy Rose Creations. Okay, it's been a while. All my life I've been kind of political, and all the crap that's going on here in this country on our 2016 election has absolutely driven me bonkers. And I couldn't get away from MSNBC and Facebook, and oh God, it was driving me nuts. Anyway, my sister and I had planned a nice vacation to Lake Chautauqua, New York. Excuse me, let me raise this up just a wee bit so I don't cut my head off. Whoops. Okay. To Lake Chautauqua, New York to visit our brother and his family. And we left on, let's see. Okay. We left on the 10th at 6:15 in the morning from San Diego, California. Okay. We flew from San Diego to Newark, New Jersey. Okay, we got to Newark, and we were supposed to connect from Newark to Buffalo to, then we were going to rent a car and drive to Lake Chautauqua. We were stuck in Newark for 3 freaking days. There was a whole bunch of little thunderstorms between Newark and Buffalo, and there must be like 1 plane or 2 that fly to Buffalo. And so the worst part was the first day, they put us on the plane. We sat at the gate for a while. Then we taxied out onto the tarmac. We sat there for like 2.5 hours. Turned around and had to get out of the way for another plane. And then we sat there for like another half an hour to an hour. And the whole time this is going on, they said, oh, you can use your cell phones again. Well, everybody turns their cell phones on. And United, it was all United people. United Express, actually. Kept sending these text messages telling everyone, oh, your flight's delayed. And, then we get a text message that says, welcome to Buffalo. You can pick your bags up at the carousel. And we were sitting on the tarmac in Newark. And then we had a flight attendant, bless his heart, could not hardly speak English, didn't understand English, should not have been in that job. It was horrible. It was horrible. I am so glad we didn't have an emergency. We all died. I mean, yeah. At one point, the gate person came into the plane and took the microphone and said, we're going to be delayed about 1.5 hours. If you want to get off the plane, that's fine. Just don't go too far. Hang around the gate. If you want to stay on the plane, that's okay. Hands the microphone to the flight attendant, and the flight attendant says, everybody has to deplane. And we're like, what? This guy just told us no, and you're telling us yes. And so, constant delays. So then they finally said, okay, no, everybody's got to get off the plane. So we all got off the plane. And we kept watching the boards. And then they would say, well, you can get back on the plane. We're going to leave at such and such a time. Oh, and get this. The Newark airport, it was blistering hot and high humidity in Newark at that time. Their airport must have been 85 degrees. The sweat was pouring off me. I mean, my hair was soaking, my clothes were soaking, my denim backpack was soaked. And, I mean, we were drinking water and everything, and it was so hot. And we got back on the plane, and then they told us, no, the flight's been canceled. So we get off the plane, and as we're getting off the plane, we're seeing on the board that, the flight's only delayed. And so we were getting bad information from everyone. So finally they said, no, the flight is canceled. So we got a hotel in Newark, okay? Had a flight for the following day. I think it was about, I can't even remember at this point. Anyway, we had a flight for the following day to Buffalo. And in the meantime, we had to take our rental car, tell the rental car company in Buffalo that we wouldn't be able to pick up the car that day. We would pick it up the next day, and Enterprise. Less days, and they were going to charge us extra for doing that. Bad move. My sister rents cars all the time. For $60, they just lost a really good customer. Anyway, okay, so we had to let our B&B in Buffalo or in Lake Chautauqua know that we were coming in late, and that was or the next day. So that was fine. So we got this hotel, stayed overnight. Next day, packed all up, checked out of the hotel, went to the airport, and found out our flight was delayed again. And then they kept putting us on the flight and taking us off the flight, putting us on the flight and taking us off the flight. And in the meantime, we kept getting weird text messages. One of the text messages from United Express was, your flight is due to take off at 9:30 and will arrive in Buffalo at 6:45 or something like that. And we're like, what is this, a black hole? And we're bending time now, you know? Oh, it was just a cluster, you know what. Anyway, so we went around and around and around all that day, and we couldn't leave the airport because it was like we didn't know, you know, we wanted to get to Buffalo. We really, really wanted to get to Buffalo. In the meantime, we're calling everybody, calling my brother-in-law, calling my brother in Lake Chautauqua, and he's like, oh, don't worry about it. You know, I got the wine chilled, you know, it'll be here. So we had, like I said, back and forth on the plane, off the plane, bad information. Finally, we again found out the flight was canceled because of all these thunderstorms between Newark and Buffalo, and they kept moving. First they thought they could get through, and then they said, no, we can't get through. So the flight was canceled. Well, shit. We didn't have a hotel then. If we'd have known that, we could have kept the freaking hotel we had. So then we had to scramble around along with several hundred other people to find a hotel. Finally found a hotel, got into that hotel. Now, mind you, we had nothing but our carry-on. So what does that tell you? We didn't have hardly anything with us. Luckily, United gave us a really nice toiletry bag with everything you could imagine. Shampoo and shaving stuff and deodorant and toothbrushes and toothpaste and lotion, you know, comb, all that stuff. Well, that was all well and good. Oh, and detergent to wash your clothes out with. Well, that was fine. I mean, it was just my sister I was with. So we washed our underwear out, ran around our hotel room naked. I know you don't want too much information. It was like, okay, we washed those out. Now what do we do? Well, now I had just colored my hair red again, right? I didn't want to wash it with shampoo from the hotel because it strips the red out quickly. And I had my special red shampoo in my bag on its way to Buffalo, or already in Buffalo. So I didn't wash my hair. And meanwhile, I'm sweating and sweating and sweating every time in the airport, right? And I was wearing blue jeans and a top, light blouse. So I could wash the blouse out, couldn't wash the jeans out. After 3 days of sweating in them, they were getting pretty ripe. Yeah. My hair smelled so bad, I could smell it without pulling a strand under my nose. I could just sit there and smell my hair with all the sweat. So embarrassing. So finally, after all that rigmarole, and then we're like calling the rental car place, calling, you know, the B&B again, and, you know, we don't know what we're going to do. Finally, my sister had like a mini meltdown. And she says, I am done. I'm done. She says, we're going to get this hotel. We're going to stay in this hotel. The next day, I'm going to get a flight out to San Diego. So we got a flight out to San Diego. And the weird thing was, when we got on the plane, first of all, we told the woman that was seated in the 3 seats, you know, and she was near the window, and we're like, okay, first of all, we apologize, but we both smell. And then we told her why. She's laughing. She's like, oh my God. And like, we really apologize. And so we're in this plane, and we decided to go back to San Diego. Just getting that changed with the ticket. I mean, when Julie called them first, they go, well, that reservation's been canceled. And Julie said, what do you mean it's been canceled? They said, well, you've already flown to Buffalo. And she goes, no, I'm standing in the freaking airport at Newark. We've never left. And by then, that reservation was gone. Gone. So we're talking to the ticket lady. She didn't even know how to reissue a ticket like that. And she had to call over 2 other people to work on it. Oh, God. And they gave us 2 boarding passes. I don't know what that was all about. And he rang up both of them. And so we finally got on the plane. So we're backing up from the gate, and the plane stops. The pilot says, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to sit here at the gate for 10 or 15 minutes because there's kind of a backup of planes leaving due to weather. Now, that was exactly the way the whole crapola trip started. And Julie and I looked at each other, and I'm like, oh, shit. And Julie says, if this flight gets canceled, she says, I'm going postal, and you're going to have to bail me out of jail. I'm like, oh, crap. I says, Julie, it's a federal offense. And I was like, oh, my God, I don't know how serious she is. And we kept saying, can't you at least break out the liquor? They're like, no, we can't as long as we're at the gate and everything. And I'm like, oh, shit. So anyhow, we got out. We were holding our breath. It's like, okay, are we going to really go? Because they said there was more weather, and we saw some lightning. We never saw storms or rain or anything in Newark. It was just all between Newark and Buffalo. And so we kind of saw some lightning way off in the distance. We're backing up, and we're turning around, and we're taxiing up, and then they'd stop, and we'd hold our breath, and then they'd go a little further, and then they'd stop. And I said, I'm not going to believe this until we're at cruising altitude. Finally, we took off, got in the air, had our 5.5-hour flight back to San Diego. As we're getting off the plane, I kind of leaned in towards the cockpit, and I said, thank you very much for getting us out of Newark. I'm never going to Newark again. I mean, the last time we flew to go to Lake Chautauqua, we went through Buffalo, and it was a wonderful flight. It was quick, fast, it was almost like a nonstop, because it was just a short jump to from Newark to Buffalo. Never, ever again. From now on, we're flying into Cleveland and renting a car, and it's like a 2-hour drive from Cleveland to Lake Chautauqua. Cleveland's a bigger airport. They have more options. Now, we could have been routed to Toronto to get out of town, but I didn't have my passport with me. Note to self, always bring your passport. Always bring clean underwear. Always bring your little portable battery-operated fan. Okay? Luckily, I had pills and all that crap. And so we, in the meantime, Julie's on the phone with 1,000 people, trying to, she says, I don't even know at this point which reservations I canceled and which ones I didn't. She was just having an awful time. So we got to San Diego. Our bags were in Buffalo. The bags didn't show up until, now, like I said, we started out on the 10th, on Wednesday, and we didn't get back until Friday evening. And the bags didn't come in until 2 o'clock in the morning on Sunday, I think it was. And we were hoping we'd actually get our bags and not somebody else's. So we did. Julie says they're down there. So it was like, oh, and all that money. I mean, the airfare, the B&B, the rental car, the 2 hotels, meals, taxi cabs. I mean, tons of money. And so my sister is talking to her husband, and he said, we know we have that insurance on the credit card. He says, did you charge everything on the United credit card? And she goes, oh, I think I did. Well, after she talked to the airline told us that because we never got to our destination, which was Buffalo, that they were going to refund our entire trip. Okay, so that's taken care of. Then the insurance on this credit card, because the cancellation was due to weather, they are going to cover the hotel, the taxi, our meals, and all this other stuff, right? And so we're like, thank you, thank you, thank you, because I was so upset. She was just hemorrhaging money. She paid for my trip, and we bought food, and and it was so bad, so bad. But this was supposed to be my intervention trip. This is supposed to be where I relax. No no tablet, no Facebook, no MSNBC. I was supposed to relax. Instead, I was so stressed by the time I got home. And I had sweat so much. I was exhausted. I weighed myself because I ate crap for days, cookies and candy and potato chips and, meals out, where it's all kinds of fatty food. I lost 4.5 pounds. I lost 4.5 pounds of sweat. So that's a secret, ladies. If you want to lose a lot of weight, you just go shut yourself into a steam room for 3.5 days. It was so bad. And I'm so disappointed. I'm supposed to still be there. Anyway, Julie says we're going to try again in a few weeks. But I'm scheduled to have cataract surgery on my right eye. I had it on my left eye like 3 weeks ago, or 2 or 3 weeks ago. And I need to have it on my right eye. Well, it's scheduled for next week. Yeah, next Thursday, the 25th. I don't know. If Julie says, well, can you reschedule it? And I says, yeah, I mean, it's not like life-threatening anything. I just can't see for any reason. But, so she's going to reschedule the trip, hopefully. And I'll reschedule my eye surgery because once I get it done, I have to go in for post-op, and then I have to wait a week and go back again so he can check and make sure everything's right. That's my sad tale. And if I never see Newark again, I will be extremely happy. I'm sorry. If anybody lives in Newark, I just don't want to be there. I wanted to be on the lake on a pontoon boat drinking wine. So, anyway, I just thought I would share my misadventure. And I have about 3 or 4 videos to do. I have 2 hauls. I have one from Daiso, the Japanese dollar type store, and I have one I won the Grumbucker fan page mystery box, and I'll do an unboxing of that. So I have those 2, and then I have, well, before I go, let me show you what I got. Whee! Okay, can you see that? There we go. I got one of those little IKEA carts for my paint. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So, just thought I'd share that. And it wasn't that expensive. I don't remember how much it was, but it was it was worth it. And it was so easy to put together. Very, very easy. And then I have another project that I'm working on for my markers. And yeah, markers. Can you see this? Whee. Okay. These are little wooden shelves, individual shelves. And what I've done was I found that toilet paper tubes fit right in there, 4 of them across. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue all the tubes together for each section, and then I'm going to paint them all black, spray paint them black, and then, did I say I was going to glue? my brain is mush, glue them all together, and then paint them all black, and then I'll put them in there, and then I can lay my pens horizontally. I was going to buy something to, store my pens, and then I got to thinking I could make something. So anyway, thank you so much for listening to my sad tale. And I will talk to you all later when I do my haul. I think I'll try and do those 2 videos today and get them uploaded. So I apologize. I look like a corpse. I didn't put any makeup on or anything. So it is what it is, folks. Be nice to each other, please. Everybody's so mean to each other. And peace.